Morning arrives slowly in a rural town, not with alarms, not with traffic, but with the sound of roosters, the wind whispering through trees, and dust rising gently from a quiet dirt road. Elena sits on the porch of a small, weathered house. It's the kind of house that doesn't impress anyone, but it has stood long enough to see generations come and go. Her daughter, Clara, steps outside and hands her a simple cup of water. Elena takes it with both hands, slowly, carefully. This isn't a special moment. This is every day. And that's where this story begins. Because sending money is help. But staying is love. Clara helps her mother stand. It takes time. They pause. They breathe together. They wait for Elena's legs to cooperate. Nothing dramatic happens. And that's exactly the point. This is what caring looks like when no one is watching. There's no applause. There's no audience. There is only presence. Elena wasn't always slow. There was a time when she worked the land before sunrise, cooked for her 2 daughters, and still had energy left at the end of the day. She raised Isabella and Clara alone after their father passed away far too young. She never made grand speeches or complained about her burdens. She just worked. Her love was expressed through effort, the kind of quiet love that doesn't need to announce itself. Isabella was the first to leave. It started at a bus stop at the edge of town with 1 suitcase and a long, tight hug. "I'll help from there," Isabella promised, and she truly meant it. There are no villains in this story. Life simply pulls people in different directions. And so, the money started arriving every month. A notification on a phone screen, a short voice message. Elena would smile whenever she heard Isabella's voice, a brief moment of connection before the phone went silent again. But later that same day, Elena might struggle to lift a heavy pot from the stove. The money helped pay the bills, but it didn't lift the pot. One afternoon, Elena stumbled while walking from the porch. She didn't fall hard, but she would have if Clara hadn't been right there to catch her. That night, Clara looked at her own packed bag, a symbol of a life waiting for her somewhere else. And quietly, she unpacked it. There was no announcement, no dramatic speech about sacrifice. It was just a decision, made in the silence of her own heart. Caregiving doesn't arrive all at once. It creeps in day by day. It's in the medication schedules written on the fridge. It's in cooking softer food that's easier to chew. It's in cleaning the house a little more often. The days begin to blur together, one moment of service flowing into the next. This is where time stretches and bends. And this is why this story lasts. Friends from her youth move away. Opportunities she once dreamed of quietly pass by. Clara watches life move forward for everyone else, seemingly without her. Some nights, alone with her thoughts, she wonders if she chose wrong. That question lingers, a companion more persistent than exhaustion. Isabella visits one summer. She arrives with a new phone, clean clothes, and a schedule that feels rushed. She notices how slow their mother has become. She sees the deep-seated tiredness in Clara's eyes. But she doesn't stay long. She can't. Her life is elsewhere now. "This doesn't give you a future," Isabella says gently, her words filled with concern, not judgment. Clara doesn't argue. Some truths don't need defending. They just are. One evening, as the sun sets, Elena speaks in a quiet voice. "I don't want to be a burden." Clara sits beside her on the old porch swing. "You're not a burden," she says, her voice steady and clear. "You're my mother." That's it. No soaring music, no dramatic declaration. Just a simple, unshakable truth. Seasons change. The green of summer fades to the gold of autumn. Hair grays. Steps slow down even more. And through it all, Clara learns a depth of patience she never planned to learn. This is where character is built. Not in the grand moments, but in the countless, uncelebrated acts of daily love. Elena passes peacefully one morning, in the quiet of her own home. Clara is there. She holds her mother's hand until the very end. And in that final, profound silence, there is no regret, only peace. Isabella returns for the funeral. Practical questions follow. Life, as it always does, keeps moving. Weeks later, a letter arrives. It's from someone Elena had helped, long, long ago. Someone whose life she had touched with a forgotten kindness. The letter doesn't bring great wealth or luxury. It brings something more valuable, stability for Clara, and recognition. A quiet acknowledgement from the universe that love given is never truly lost. God sees the things people miss. Morning arrives again in the small rural town. Clara sits on the porch alone. The same wind rustles the same trees. The same dust dances on the same quiet road. But she is not empty. She is filled with the certainty of a life well lived. Because sending money is help, but staying is love.